Okay, I'm hoping we're live now. Let's try this again. Let me know if you can hear me. Anybody out there? Anybody? Anybody? If you can hear me. Anybody out there? Anybody? Anybody? Now, if I could just get anybody to hear me. We're back up. Anybody out there? Anybody? Anybody? Now, if I could just get anybody to hear me. We're back up. Anybody out there? Anybody? Anybody? Now, if I could just get anybody to hear me. Okay. Shoot. Back up. If I could just get anybody to Okay. Can you hear me? I'm going to go ahead and get started because I think that once people catch up to me, we will be going here. Anyway, sorry for that. That's what happens when you're using the wonderful internet system these days. You never know what's going to happen. I had some issues with my volume. My son had messed around with my mic last night, and I think that might have done it. I'm not sure. I'm hoping now that we have it all up and going and everything is good. Let's hope so. I hope that you can hear me. And I'm just going to go ahead and start. So I have got, to begin with, we're going to talk a little bit about blendabilities tonight, and these are the blendabilities. They are awesome. I had a big display up here and it fell down, so I'll pick it up in a little bit. But the blendabilities are just a marker that Stampin' Up! Came out with as an alcohol marker, and they're exclusive alcohol markers, and they come in sets of 3. So like this is Old Olive. You get the light, the medium, and the dark together, and these provide like a saturated look, a blended look to your images, and they recommend using the Whisper White cardstock with it, with your Stampin' Up! Blendabilities. But any of our cardstocks will work. You just have to play with it. I've really only used Whisper White at this point, and played with it a little bit. And then the Memento ink is the black ink that you want to use. And the difference between Memento ink and StazOn ink is StazOn is an alcohol-based ink, and Memento ink is a water-based ink. So the difference is, if you use StazOn with the blendabilities, their alcohol and the StazOn's alcohol, they're going to bleed together. If you use Memento ink with the blendabilities, you're good to go. So, and I love this ink. It's great because it doesn't stain your stamps, and everything looks great stamped in it. So nice and clear. There are going to be 6 colors available starting at midnight tonight, 12:01 actually. July 1st, there's Cherry Cobbler, Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Old Olive, Pumpkin Pie, Rich Raspberry, and then also the 6 skin tone colors. And I haven't done a whole lot with the skin tones. I know that I'm going to have to play with them. Skin is probably the hardest thing to do. I have done some brown and some light blushes, but I haven't actually done a skin on face yet. So we'll see. We'll have to get that done. And the other thing that you may want to get is the, oh, I don't have it here, but the color lifter. And I actually did up some videos. I was hoping to demo live tonight. Thank gosh I didn't do that. But that's not going to be a possibility because my internet connection isn't good enough and my camera couldn't get close enough. And so I taped the videos this afternoon in my stamp room here. And sorry, I'm trying to keep tabs on questions people are asking too, but I videotaped the actual class on YouTube, and they're up on YouTube. They're not, nobody else can see them at this point, and I don't know if I'm going to I haven't decided yet. But anyway, so we will be, I will be showing those tapes as we go. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. Oh, a couple other things. What sets them apart, what steps our blendabilities apart is that the barrel is a rectangle so that it lays flatly on a table. It's not going anywhere. It's flat storage. That helps the life of your marker. Each marker comes with a tip on each end so you know what color it is. This is actually Old Olive, and actually in this, on the video that I'm seeing, it doesn't look Old Olive, but it's definitely Old Olive. You get a brush on one end, brush tip on one end, put it up there so you can see it, and a bullet tip on the other, put it up there so you can see it. And I actually talk about that a little bit in the video too that you're going to see. They're made of nylon. The tips are made of nylon, and so they're superior to polyester, so they don't fray, and they hold up better. So that's an added bonus there. And they coordinate, of course, with our cardstock and our ribbons and all of our accessories. And you can also color on transparencies. And I haven't tried that. I'll have to have a Blendabilities 2 class at some point. Why are they different? The color goes on smoothly as opposed to having streaky lines when you color with your markers. You get an intense, vibrant color. And they're color fast, which means that they won't fade. Blendabilities won't fade. They're not water soluble, so your colors won't fade or run in water, but they are alcohol soluble. So you need to use Memento ink with the Blendabilities. And the other thing is that if you get alcohol on your image, so careful what you're drinking while you're stamping, if it dumps on there, it would smear and make a mess of your project. So there you have that. And let's see what else. Being alcohol based, you need to use the correct paper, which I'm telling you, Stampin' Up! Recommends Whisper White, our Whisper White cardstock. And what happens with them is when you're coloring and coloring and coloring, the cardstock doesn't pill. So it holds up. It's pretty awesome that it holds up so well. And I love that. So the other thing is that you can color on all different surfaces. Because they're alcohol-based, they'll stick to rhinestones, pearls, ribbons, brads, buttons, embellishments, fabric, tin, blah, blah, blah. And I actually have a video on that too. So we're going to be busy tonight. I have, I think, five different demonstrations, things I'm doing. I've got some giveaways that I'm doing, and then I'm also running a special. Now down below there, underneath my picture of me talking, it says two buttons, two green buttons. One of them says Blendabilities Notes. If you click on that, you will get a handout, a PDF of just the information I just quickly went over there right tonight with you that you can print out. And it's going to ask you, it's going to tell you that, you know, they need to get your Facebook information. Well, I'm going to tell you that every app that you, anything that you do on Facebook, that's just something that they ask. That's part of Facebook. There's, I can't change that. So if you don't want to do that, if you want to, you just don't get the PDF. But there's not much I can do. That's just how Facebook and all these apps work. So I'm hoping that everybody's good to go and everybody's seeing me. If not, this is going to be taped, and I could actually send a link out to people to watch it again. I haven't decided at this point if I'm going to put it up on YouTube. We'll see. We'll see what I decide. So, also the last thing I wanted to talk about was the color lifter. And I do a video and I use it a little bit. But the color lifter is the clear pen. They call it a color lifter, but really it's a color pusher. And it just pushes color where you want it. And you can use it for highlighting and cleaning up some of your edges. And so there you have it. There is no right or wrong way to use Blendabilities. Everybody does their own thing. Everybody does it differently. Stampin' Up! Recommends that you start with the dark and you work towards the light. And you'll see in the videos that I do, I actually start with my light and work towards my dark. But it's really just practice. If everybody just practice, and play with it, because it's a lot of fun. And honest to gosh, it was not hard, and it came together fairly quickly for me. So let's see what I'm missing here. Oh, if you use a light hand, you're going to get a watercolor look. If you use a heavy hand, you're going to get a real intense color. And I've really found that you have to practice on that too. So we are going to start with a screen share, which means I'm going to show a YouTube video. We are going to hope that everything comes out just the way it's supposed to. That's what I always hope, is that when I show these videos that the screen share actually does what it says it's going to do. I lost the call earlier, and let's hope that I don't lose the call this time. So let's start the screen share. Start with the first video. And I will see. Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.com, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the Blendabilities and some of the basics of what you need to do to use with them. So what I've got is I've got my Memento Tuxedo Black ink pad, and this one works the best. It is a dye ink, and it's a fade-resistant dye ink, and it works best with the Blendabilities because it won't bleed out. If you tried it with StazOn, you'd have an issue because StazOn has alcohol in it, and the Blendabilities have alcohol in it, and so they would bleed into each other. So Memento Black ink is the paper, or the ink to use. The paper is Stampin' Up's Whisper White cardstock, and that's what I found to work the best so far, and that's what Stampin' Up! Recommends also. And then the Blendabilities, and they come as a package of 3, and so you get a light, a medium, and a dark of each color. This happens to be pumpkin pie, and the nice thing about these is that they coordinate with the rest of Stampin' Up! Stuff. So if you're using ribbons or papers or buttons or whatnot in pumpkin pie, they're going to coordinate with these colors. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Another thing I do recommend, especially if you have trouble opening the caps on these are very tight. And if you have trouble, if you just get one of those things from the store, this is just a piece of, I cut it off to open up cans. It just gives you a little something to grip onto, and then the caps come up fairly easy. I don't have a whole lot of trouble getting the caps off, but I just want to recommend that to people that if you do, use one of those little gripper things, that might help. Our Blendabilities have a brush tip on one end and a bullet tip. Now I'm going to have trouble opening them. Bullet tip on the other. I think you can see that. And I have found myself, for the most part, using the finer point, but I also use the brush tip for some other techniques, and we'll get into that later. So Blendabilities are rectangular so that they don't roll off tables. They're not going anywhere. They're just going to sit here. When you store them, you do want to store them like this so that both ends are equal. That way the ink is going to flow to both ends and you're not going to dry out one end. If you store them this way, this end is going to dry out, and you don't want that to happen. So we'll go ahead and get started. For this first technique that I'm going to show you, this is called a color book technique. And I'm going to use the stamp, this stamp called Kind Koala. He was one of those stamps in the book that I just thought that I had to have. And I'll go ahead and stamp. I'm going to stamp this right in the middle because I'm not really sure what I'm going to do with this image. And this way I've got plenty of room to cut to layer it. So I'm just going ahead and stamp that. And then I'm going to let it dry for about 30 seconds just because I want to make sure that that black ink is dried up in there. And I'm actually going to, this is just for your benefit, but I'm actually going to tape this down to my mat because I'm going to zoom in while I'm doing this, and I don't want that piece of cardstock to move. And I want you to be able to see exactly what I'm doing. So hang in here while I zoom in. I want to make sure that you can still see what I'm doing. Cool. Okay, so for this first technique, what you're going to do is, it's just called Color Book, and I'm just going to use the orange ink, and I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to color this all in. And you can see how I'm coloring it. I'm using circular motions and just filling in the whole thing. What I like about these markers when you're doing the color book technique is that you don't get any streaky lines like you do with regular markers. It all kinds of blends into an even looking color, so you don't have any lines. Even when I go over there a little bit, and you can go over several times. I think I missed a spot there. So just regular coloring. One of the things you need to do, make sure, is that you're protecting your surface underneath your project because these do bleed through the cardstock. So whatever you color with Blendabilities will probably have to be layered because it bleeds right through, and I'll pull this up and show you here in just a second. But yeah, I just use circular motions all the way till I'm colored in. And then as this dries, it will even out. And if you have some issues, if you see some spots that maybe you didn't get as much ink, you can always go back over it. If your ink dries and you go back over it, you will end up with a darker shade of that color. Anyway, so that is color book technique. This isn't very even. I'm going to try to add some color in there to make it a little bit more even. And I'm going to show you the back so you can see what I mean when I talk about color book technique. So there it is. It's evenly colored. I think you can see that. I'm hoping you can. When I pull this off and flip it over, you can see where it bleeds into the back. And that is typical of alcohol markers. That's not unusual for them to bleed like that into the back. And that's why you layer things with alcohol markers. So there you have it. There's just the first little technique I wanted to show you, and that's just coloring, and then you can see how you get such that nice even tone of your project. So thank you very much. Okay, so there was the first technique that I did with the Blendabilities, and one of the things that I wanted to do tonight, I just lost my screen. I hope I didn't lose you guys. Yeah, there we are. Okay, good. One of the things that I wanted to do tonight was have some giveaways. So we're going to first start with that, and all you need to do is just type down at the bottom. If you look at the bottom of your screen underneath where I'm talking, there is a place that you can leave comments, and you just type in your comments there and hit whatever, you know, reply or enter, and it will show up, and then I can answer those questions. And I just wanted to show you quickly the card that I actually made with that little koala is this little guy. And I don't know, do you guys see it backwards? It's backwards on my screen. I don't know if it's backwards on your screen. But anyway, this is the card that I ended up making with that little koala image. And I thought he turned out quite cute. And so here's the big question. Whoever gets the answer right, I'm going to mail this card to you as a thank you for attending tonight. The question is, be the first to respond into the comments below. And the question is, what was the name of this technique? I said it several times in the video. What was the name of the technique that I used in this card? Okay, now we should have, like, I don't know, we should have music or something happening that we could say do, 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 do. You don't want me to sing, I'm telling you right now. You do not want me to sing. So let me refresh my screen here and see if anybody's answered. Anybody? I don't see it yet. I find that interesting. The answer is, I can tell that this is going to take a little bit of time. I think people are trying to catch up to me is what's happening. I might be a little bit ahead of you guys. Ah, yay! Debbie Lowry, you are the winner. Oh, wait. I know, this is so goofy. Congratulations, Debbie. I will have you message me and let me know what your address is so I can get this out in the mail to you. Does anybody have any questions yet of things that I've shown? Anybody have any questions? I'm going to keep an eye on the questions down here, and I'm just going to keep plugging away and pulling up the next video. This next video shows another technique of using the Blendabilities, and it's kind of a fun one. So let me get back into the YouTube. I'll scope out the answers. Sometimes the YouTube just doesn't show up. Okay, hang on. We're getting there. We're getting there. Oh, why is there no sound? Color first. Okay. Let's try this again. You guys are so good. Just stick with me. Okay, so for this technique, I've gone ahead and stamped the butterfly with the Memento ink, and I'm going to come in with my Blendabilities. And this is the technique that Stampin' Up! Says that they prefer to use in their video. And they start with the darkest color first, and come in and color in with your darkest color. And you notice I didn't have to stay in the lines or anything. And then with the medium color, I'm going to come in and I'm just going to, in a circular motion, that's going to blend that line in and then bring it out farther. So I'm just kind of doing the same thing on both sides and using that circular motion. And then when you go over the line of the dark color to the light color and blend it like that, it just blends that line in nicely. And then I'm going to come in with my lightest color. And finish coloring in my butterfly all the way around. So that's just a really fast, simple technique. It looks fabulous. It looks great. You could always come in if you wanted to and make this a little bit darker. You could come in with a little bit more of the dark and blend that in there. And as your project dries, it tends to bleed out too. So, and there you have it. There's a quickly colored butterfly using the technique that Stampin' Up! Uses. So that's the technique that Stampin' Up! Recommends. And actually, they posted a couple of videos today on Stampin' Up's YouTube channel of different people that work at the main office doing blendabilities, and they all have different techniques too. So it just doesn't, you know, just because you learn one way, you just keep kind of playing with it and find what works for you. And also, depending on what you're looking for in your project. So this was the card. I took those butterflies. Oh wait, I can't show you yet because I have another technique. Oh, okay. So I have another video to show you the technique that I use to use the blendabilities with. And one of the things that I'm going to say is I'm kind of noticing in the video that it looks kind of, I don't know, it looks like I'm just like barely touching the cardstock and it's smoothly putting it out there. A lot of the stuff I'm doing is little circular motions, getting those blended colors into there. I'm not sure, and I'll have to watch the video afterwards to see what it looks like, but it might just be a slow connection tonight. That's kind of just making it look a little choppy. I don't know, it's kind of weird. You guys let me know what you think. If it's working for you, it's fine, and we'll just keep plugging away. So I'm going to pull up this next video, and this is the way that I do the blendabilities. It's just a different way. It's not a wrong way, because there is no wrong way. There's just a different way. My sister once told me that everybody does things differently, and so I've used that as my motto a lot, and I think she's actually out there, so hello, Mary. Okay, so here's the next video. Let me get her opened up here and get it going. Hope it's working. Now I'm going to show you a technique that I like to use. And like I said, there is no right or wrong way. Everybody does things just a little bit differently, and you find what works best for you. Practice is probably the best thing. I go ahead and I color in with the lightest color the whole image. And I'm just going to work on one wing at a time this time. So I color in that whole image. And then I'm going to come in with my medium color and color in where I want that to be. And then if I want, then I can come in and blend this out, blend my line out with that lighter color. And then come in with my darker color. And get that color where I want it. And then go back up your line. So then back in with your medium. And if you choose to, I don't think I need to on this one, but I could go in with a lighter color too. It just gives you a different blend. They actually look very similar when you look at them side by side. But this is just kind of the way that I prefer to do it. So now I'll color the other side of the wing. Oh, I did some little boo-boos here. Okay, when I colored this side, I got a little carried away. And you can see, I hope you can see where I've come out of the lines. If I take my color lifter, it's actually called a color lifter, but it's color pusher, and just lay it on there and push that color back towards the image. It pushes that color right back into your image, and you don't have it's not coming out of the lines. Then I'm adding in my medium color, and then I'm going to come in and add in my dark color. Blend in a little more medium. And then blend in a little more light. And there you have it, a very quick way to color the butterfly. Okay, so that's the way that I do it. And I had a few people asking questions. One of them was, it does look like I'm magically blending them. What I'm doing is I'm coloring with a marker, and I actually am using the bullet side in this video, the pointed end. There you go, can you see it up there? And so I'm just taking the image and I'm just little circles. And it kind of looks in the video like I'm just running it over and the ink is all bleeding out. But it's just little circular motions. And mostly I use the bullet end of it. But I'm sure that as I progress in my use of the Blendabilities, I will change that and start using the brush hand. So if you have questions, honestly, just put them down in the comment section. I can keep up with the questions for the most part, and I'll keep kind of looking around and seeing if I've missed something. But I want to make sure that everybody feels comfortable. They really are. I'm not kidding. These are like so much fun. I have some cards back here. Did you notice I put this up while you guys were watching a video? Put my display back together. But these are some cards that I did with the Blendabilities, and these were the cards that I did the first time out. I mean, these were fun, and they're I wish I could actually like show each one of them to you, but easy, fun stuff. I love that blended bloom. That's awesome. And these were my first tries at using the Blendabilities, and I found them to be that easy to use. And I've showed a couple other people how to use them, and I think they picked it up fairly easy too. So just, again, it's just all about practice. And the more you play with them, the more you practice, the better at it you're going to get, and the more fun it is. So we're going to have another little contest. Oh, this is the card that I made with those butterflies. See how cute that is? Just a little thank you card. I'm going to give away, again, with a comment or an answer to the next question. And the question is, get ready to type, ladies and gentlemen. On this particular card, I used the stamp set Papillon Potpourri. How many stamps are in that set? That's a tough one. You didn't expect that question. How many stamps are in the Papillon Potpourri stamp set? Go. Answer. Do, 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 do. Anybody? Anybody have an answer? Drum roll. Okay, I'm not seeing an answer to my question. How many stamps are in the Stampin' Ups? Do you see my dog just came in to be part of this? Her little eyeball sitting over there. I've had a few people comment. Oh, I think I got an answer. Okay, so I have an answer. And before I get there, I'm going to, Cynthia asked if I prefer the bullet end. Yes. At this point, I do. Just because I think it's easier to control the ink. You don't, the brush, you have a little bigger space that you're doing circles in, and with bullet point, you don't. So at this point, yes. Debbie's made a comment about the flower. Yeah, I'd love that flower. That's awesome. And the answer that was correct was Cynthia. Cynthia Tuttle, you are the winner of this card. So if you send me message me your address, I'll get this out in the mail to you tomorrow. Okay, well, lots of different answers. It was actually number 7. 7 is the number of stamp sets in that stamp set. Okay, so does anybody have any other questions? I do have a couple more videos. So let's see what the next one is. Oh, this is a cute one. This is using that little koala bear again. For this card, and I use them a little bit differently this time. This makes me laugh because when my son was a kindergartner, I went to parent-teacher conferences, and the teacher was actually really trying to find something that he had done because he was a real quiet, easygoing kid. And one of his deficits is that he colored his monkey purple. And I took everything I had not to burst out laughing because this Beanie Babies were huge then, and they were every color under the sun. And so his biggest deficit was to color his monkey purple. Was not that big of a deal for me. And so anytime that I'm coloring something or goofing around, I always remember this. But today I just so happened to color my koala purple. And I stayed in the lines. Does that help? No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so here is that koala bear, and I'm doing the same one that I did in the color book technique, but this time I'm doing some shading with him. So here we go. Let's see if I can get this one up and going.
Okay, so this technique, I'm going to go ahead and use that kind koala stamp again, and this time I'm going to use the rich raspberry pack of Blendabilities. And one of the little hints I'm going to give you, I just made a mistake right before I did this video, but I kind of like to have them lined up on my work surface in light, medium, and dark, and so that I know which one is which, because otherwise you can use the wrong color. So I'm going to start with my light, and I'm just going to go ahead and color in his ears using that circular motion. And I'm going to do everything but his nose. And I'm just laying down some color, a base. And I'll do the same thing on this one. And then I'm going to come in with the lighter, or the medium color, and add a little highlight to his ear here, and on this side. And then I'm going to pretend like the light is coming in this way on him, and I'm actually going to add in some shading, like this side of his face is darker. And then come back in with that lighter marker and blend those in. Blend in my lines. And then I'm going to come in with the darkest, and this one's just going to get a real light like it's got a shadow on that side. And then I'm going to come in with that medium marker and blend in that line. And then last but not least, come in with the lightest and blend that in. So you can take any image and give it some really nice shading. Oh, I'm going to put some darker, just touch on his ears. And then blend that in with the medium. So you can see how you can put some real color down. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up his body. And I'll probably just fast forward the video so you can watch this in fast motion. Okay, so there's a very quick shaded koala bear.
Okay, so, oh goodness, there I am. Okay, so there was another technique using the Blendabilities and a shading technique. If you have questions, now would be a good time to put them in there so I can kind of keep track of that. And I'm going to show you the card that I made with the koala bear. I added, I finished it off. Isn't he just adorable? I mean, the highlights on there, this screen doesn't really do it justice as good as this actually looks. And really, the videos that I made today didn't take me more than, I mean, I fast forwarded that one, but really it didn't take that much out of the video. So they're not very long. They go fairly quickly. They're easy to use, and it's just a matter of highlighting and putting some shadows in there. So the other thing I did on this, I don't know if you see it in there, but you see that sparkly in the middle of the flower? I have a video to show that, how to do that, and that's really super easy. And so, okay, so my question is, the winner of this card has to answer the question. Oh, well, let me check and make sure if there's no other, I didn't miss a question here from somebody. It doesn't look like I did. If I've missed your question and I haven't answered it out loud, go ahead and pop it back into the comment section. But the answer for this, you have to type in the answer, and the question is, what color did I use to make this koala bear? The bear, the ribbon, and the cardstock are all the same color. Look at how great they coordinate. Love it. So first one to answer, I know that somebody's favorite color, they should be able to put that in there fast. So the first person to put in what their favorite color is, or what color this is. I'm sorry, I keep thinking that you're going to win there, Teresa, because it's your favorite color. I will send this card to you. So let's see. Oh, isn't that funny? And the answer is Mary Cameron. Oh, wait, Mary Cameron. You are the winner of the card. Rich Raspberry was the color that I used. I probably mentioned it several times. Teresa, you were like, I think, seconds away from getting the right answer. So congratulations, Mary. And anybody have any other questions? Nope, doesn't look like it at this point. So let's see, I think I have another one more video. I hope I'm not making any goofy faces when I'm looking on YouTube trying to figure out what I'm doing here. That was, somebody told me last time that when I get kind of a goofy look on my face. Imagine that. And you know, I forget that it shows up on, everything I do shows up on the screen. I guess you can see me, I can't see you. The last thing I'm going to show, the last technique I'm going to show you tonight is, it's just a really short one, and it's using your blendabilities to
in this video, I'm just going to show you quickly how you can change
color
some
your
of our
embellishments.
accessories that we have in our catalog to meet the needs that you need for colors. So on this one, I'm just taking this was a rich raspberry brush end of the marker, and I made a rich raspberry pearl, and this is Coastal Cabana, and these are the colors that are becoming available at midnight tonight. And this one is Pumpkin Pie, and I'm actually using the darkest of the colors of each of the marker sets because I just have found that shows up with the coloring of the accessories. It looks the best. This is Cherry Cobbler. But it's just a really fun way to get a variety of pearls. Old Olive. And in the colors, Daffodil Delight. The last one is Daffodil Delight. So these are the 6 color markers that are becoming available July 1st. And then also the 6 skin tone colors. But it's really fun just to have your own colored embellishments that coordinate with our cardstock and everything else. Now the next thing I'm going to show you, of course, is the rhinestones. These are probably my favorite. I just think they're beautiful. And because these, you can see through them, the color is just a little bit different. And I definitely use, for the most part, the darker of the markers. But any of the markers would work. Just depends on what color it is that you want. And once that's dry, it doesn't take very long because it's alcohol based. Once it's dry, those look like rubies. that color's not coming off. So it's there to stay. But you take a basic pack of rhinestones and you've just changed it into some fabulous, fabulous embellishments that you can use on everything. Isn't that pretty? They just give you some great looks in there. So a regular pack of rhinestone embellishments turns into any colors that you want.
Oh, well, I guess that one ended quickly. Okay, so let me get back here. There I am. Okay, so there was the last of the technique videos for tonight. I mean, I could go on. Blendabilities, you could go on for days. And it's only going to be like that the more people get them in their hands and the more that they're shared. But there's going to be so much that you can do. So that's exciting. I'm excited about them. I think they're awesome. And I actually feel like coloring to me is like a stress reliever. I can just spend hours doing it. I wish I had more hours a day. In fact, when I did these cards here, or these birds over here, this was like the first time that I used the Blendabilities, and I just stamped all the birds onto one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, and I stamped them all out, and then proceeded to color them. And when I got done, I was so happy with the way that I'd colored them, and honestly, it was my first or second time. I mean, I just was starting to use them, that I cut them all up and made them in the cards because they were so pretty. And on this one here, I don't know if I can take these off because they're really, I got them on there with our new Fast Fuse adhesive, and I'm telling you, it sticks. But this bird, maybe I can pull it over here, but this bird one here, you see those little red pearls? Those are the pearls that I used and colored. And honestly, I did these probably 3-4 weeks ago, and that color is not coming off. And I actually did a few on here. I did some rhinestone embellishments. You probably can't see them. But over this week, I'm going to be posting those pictures, all those cards up on my blog with recipes and how I did them. So it's a lot of fun. I love the Blendabilities. I will tell you that it's going to be awesome. You can also do fabric and ribbon. You can color it and it bleeds out on those too. So there's a lot more to do with the Blendabilities. So does anybody have any questions? Anybody? Oh, sorry, I just I hadn't refreshed for a while, and I see that there are some questions down here. So let's see what I'm looking at. I'm actually, when I look down, I'm looking at my iPad. I'm actually playing the thing on my iPad so I can see what you guys are getting. Eileen asked, can I start it back from the beginning? I think you actually can while I'm presenting, Eileen, if you just drag that thing all the way back to the start. But I'm almost done, so hang out, and then when I'm all done, it will be up here till I take it down. So then you can do that. Teresa said it's neat that you can do that. Yeah, it is. It's awesome that you can change your embellishments. Teresa also says a stress reliever. Maybe I should invest in them. I'm telling you what. If it wasn't for Stampin' Up, my life would be crazy. This is the one thing that brings me back and grounds me, and so it's a very good therapy. My sister works at the mental health office down the street, and I think that I should put a little bucket there of stamping stuff for them to play with. But yeah, it is. It's really good therapy, and it's a lot of fun. So we are close to being finished. I do have a special offer for tonight for those people that are on the call. If you're interested, it's buy a bundle of Blendabilities and get a free stamp. I have a short little video that I did of that, and then when I come back, I have I don't know what I just did here. Oops. I have one more.
Hi, Stamp.
One more little giveaway.
Diane Dimich here with DDStamps.
Sorry, I've got the wrong video coming up. Let me get back to my screen here. Get back to here we go. Okay, so here is one of the last videos that I'm going to show tonight, and then we will do one more drawing for a free prize. And then if anybody has any questions, you are certainly welcome to ask away.
Okay, so I really want to thank you for coming tonight, and I hope that you learned something
from this
webinar, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself. and I look forward to doing more in the future. But I wanted to let you know about a little special that I'm running tonight for those of you who are here with me.
Yeah, I got something messed up right now, so just hang with me for a second. We'll start this over. Let me get back to the screen share. I got too many things going on. Here we go. Screen share. Where'd it go? I can't find it. Just a second. Hang in there. Got it. Now let me get her open.
Okay, so I really want to thank you for coming tonight, and I hope that you learned something from this webinar, and I hope that you enjoyed yourself, and I look forward to doing more in the future. But I wanted to let you know about a little special that I'm running tonight for those of you who are here with me. I am going to run a special on the Blendabilities. These are the 6 colors that are going to be available starting tomorrow, July 1st. Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie, Cherry Cobbler, Rich Raspberry, Coastal Cabana, and Old Olive. And so if you decide that you want to purchase this whole bundle of products, there's a great offer I've got for you. So I'm offering the 6 colors of Blendabilities, the color lifter pen, the Memento ink that you need, and a package of Whisper White cardstock. If you decide to purchase all of these items, you will be, let's flip this over, offered at least one of these stamp sets. So it's either the Blended Bloom, the Kind Koala, Snapshot, or the Vivid Bases. So you'll get, if you purchase all of these products plus the paper, you'll get one of those stamp sets for free. I'm going to put a link into the video or down below in the comments. There'll be a little link down there to my special offer for tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to contact me. And thanks again.
Okay, so there is the special offer. That's down there. There's a green button right below me in the comments section that says Blendability Special. And this special offer is only through me as a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. If you purchase the bundle of products, the price point is $100. And then you get to choose that stamp set for free. So if you go into that and click that special offer button, make sure that there's a drop-down menu to pick which of the stamp sets that you want with your Blendabilities. I want to thank you all for coming. I hope you had fun. I hope you all learned something. I know I did tonight. This was a tough one. I thought I had all my ducks in a row, and then when it started and I had no sound, I could not figure out what I'd done wrong. And it was actually on my end. My son had tried to fix something for me last night, and he had told me last night, "No, remember, you need to do this when you get in there." And of course, I didn't do what I was supposed to do. So that's why we had no sound. It was all me. Does anybody have any other questions while I'm still online? Oh, here I've got some more. When did I start? I must be late. You know, Lee, I started at, I don't know, it was later than I thought. 7 o'clock Mountain Time. But we probably didn't get started till 20 after or so because we had some issues. This will be, you'll be able to watch this as soon as I'm done with it. You'll be able to watch it right from the start. Oh, you can't comment, huh, Bonnie? That's interesting. I thought for sure that you could comment, but I thought I had a fix for the iPad. But you can still comment afterwards, and I will come back and check and see if there's anything that I can answer for you. Anybody else have any questions? The last thing I'm going to do is have a little giveaway, and it's not a big deal. It's just some rhinestone embellishments. Because you're going to need them with these Blendabilities. You're going to be able to color all those in those beautiful colors. That's awesome. So if you don't have any more questions, I'm going to pick a number. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to pick a number between 1 and 30. But I haven't done it yet, so don't put any numbers in there. And I'm going to write it down. so that, okay, I got it written down. So the first person that picks my number in the box between 1 and 30, they're going to get, I'm going to send them the embellishments. Oh, Joy asked, when will the rest of the colors be available? The other 6 colors of Blendabilities will be available to demonstrators starting tomorrow and available to everybody else starting August 1st is the plan at this point. Just so you're aware, if you're Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, we always get to order early. We always get to order product about a month before everybody else. One of the benefits of being a demonstrator. There are lots of benefits of being a demonstrator, but that's one of them. So they'll be available tomorrow, Joy, for demonstrators, and August 1st for our customers. Anybody else have a question? Okay, well, I'm starting to get numbers, and I have my number here, and I'm just going to wait until I see the number that I've picked. So if you have more questions, go ahead, and you can only guess once too. I'm just going to tell you that because I can check up on you people. Just saying. So I'll just keep watching it to see. And while I'm doing that, I'm going to goof around with Google, because with Google you can do lots of funny things like put hats on your head, or if I wanted to be the little devil, I could do that. I could pretend like I was a dog devil. That's odd. Or I could be Dr. Seuss. Isn't that his hat? Or the princess that I am. Just ask my sister. Sorry, I'm just goofing off now. I'm just goofing off waiting for somebody to get the right answer. And at this point, I don't see it. Keep going, ladies. Keep guessing. I could actually put another pair of glasses on me too if I wanted to. Isn't this just goofy, the things that they will let you do? I put a mustache on me, but that's almost, I mean, really kind of scary. Oh no, I think we've guessed every number but the one that I picked. I'm going to say pretty soon, if you've already guessed a number and it wasn't right, guess another one, because we're never going to get there at this rate. Oh, I'm still checking. Anybody have a question? Anybody? I shouldn't have picked such a broad range of numbers. Oh, somebody got it. Do. Oh, wait. Woo! Okay. So the correct answer was 14. And I wrote it right here. Number 14, see it right there. And Carol Allen Wilshire, you are the winner of the Blendabilities. So you have to message me with your address so I can get them sent out to you. Anybody that, that's great. Thanks for coming. And if there's anything that I can do to help you answer any questions, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know how you felt about it. Let me know if it worked for you and if it's working on your end. It seems to be working on my end. If I have no more questions, I'm probably going to be done because I went a little longer than I thought I would tonight. So thanks for hanging with me, and don't forget about that special offer down below in the green button. Blendabilities are available tomorrow. Awesome. I'm going to refresh a couple more times, and then I'm going to say goodnight. So, thank you, ladies. Have a great one, and good night.